Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have my lighting and more lighting and my fan. How you doing? I hope you and yours in YouTube land are happy and healthy and safe and well. Right now the time is approximately 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time, which means we are using the heck out of the late night department of the YouTube studio of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch. And the date is Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. The moon is waxing in Scorpio, and the sun is transiting in Virgo. I wanted to do a little more of a casual YouTube video, focusing on some of the books that I'm reading. And this is a part one because there are other books that I'm reading. And I have a feeling that by the time I do part two, there will be at least one book that I'm currently reading that I will not be reading by the time part two rolls around. So of course, most of you know that I am reading this book, The Petit Lenormand Oracle, a comprehensive manual for the 21st century card reader by Lisa Young-Sutton, whose YouTube channel, Lisa Loves Lenormand, is right now my #1 favorite Lenormand-themed YouTube channel. I really dig her YouTube channel. I love her voice, I love her vibe, I love what she writes, and I will link my video about this amazing book in the description box, as well as her YouTube channel and where you can buy your own copy. Even though the focus is Lenormand, it really does live up to its subtitle, A Comprehensive Manual for the 21st Century Card Reader. And I will tell you that I have used her recommendations in the Start Here chapter for ritual work and spellcraft, for readings when I'm using tarot or oracle cards or both, and any type of meditative practice in general, even for journal writing. So that's one of the books that I'm currently reading. And I'm going to put this to the side right now. And one of the other books that I'm currently reading, actually, I forgot. Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person from my YouTube videos, needs to do a close-up of the cover of this book. So Drake, Mr. Cameraman, if you could please do a close-up of this beautiful book, thank you so much. I love this book. Love, love, love this book. It is really one of my personal top 3 favorites of Lenormand-themed books. So yes, now I can put this back here. And one of 2 books that I'm reading that are a bit of an annual thing is this revised and updated version of Nancy Blair's The Goddess book. However, the original title of this book was Seasons of the Goddess. Or rather, The Goddess in Every... Actually, you know what? I do not remember. The original version of this book was published in 1999. This version was published in 2021. The Book of Goddesses is the original title by Vega Books. This one is published by Hampton Roads Publishing, which is distributed by Red Wheel Wiser. And I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of the book. The artwork is Thalia took. And it's funny because I was wondering, when had this oracle card deck been published? She's still creating cards for the deck. I think that when it's ultimately published, it will be like, I don't know, 200 plus cards. I'm not kidding, I think it will be. I want to read a short passage of this book to you. For those of us living in the Northern Hemisphere, right now the season is autumn. So here's what she wrote, here's what Nancy Blair wrote about autumn. Harvest. Bring it in. Bring it home. Crunchy, cackling, ghostly shadows. Sort the seeds and berries. Gather what the witches love. leave a little by the bush to feed the forest fairies. And each week corresponds to a different goddess. For example, for the first week of autumn, we have the Willendorf goddess. The Willendorf goddess is more commonly known as the Venus of Willendorf. And she is the goddess that is very full-bodied, full-figured, that nobody ever fat-shamed in her time. And for the second week of autumn, we have a beloved goddess to one of my favorite people on planet Earth, Michelle Swan Graham, whose YouTube channel is called Swan of Dreamers. Give it a follow. And the goddess for the second week of autumn is Guanxi, the Chinese goddess of mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. So it is a lovely book. I love spending time with it. I just love this book. I love its original version. I love its newer version because the newer version also has affirmations. So for example, one of the affirmations for the Willendorf goddess is, I love the earth, my mother. Another one that I love is, I am uniquely beautiful, inside, outside, and all over. I love these. I love these. Okay, I'm going to put this here for now. Some of you know I began learning Lenormand this year, and I also began offering Lenormand readings professionally, which I have been enjoying the heck out of. And it just so happens that Kipper Cotton, or the Kipper cards, are Lenormand's sister. Lenormand is French. Kipper Cotton, as you can probably surmise, is German. So I'm currently also reading this book, The Art of Kipper Reading, Decoding Powerful Messages by Alexandre Musrock. And I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of this book. And yes, in case you're wondering, I did purchase Mr. Musrock's Kipper cards as well. It's a beautiful book. I'm only very few pages into it. I don't even think that I'm at chapter 1 yet. No, I'm not. I actually have very little, but I've been pacing myself because I really want to learn as much about Kipper as possible. There aren't that many books on Kipper on the market, at least none that I've seen. But I'm really getting into this, and I absolutely look forward to using Lenormand and Kipper simultaneously. Okay, so put this over here. Another book that I'm reading, actually a book that I am happily rereading, is The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. And of course I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the cover of this book. And of course I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the cover of this book. Thank you, Drake. This is called the Sunburst, by the way. This is a typical symbol on a lot of Catherine Ponder's books. Catherine Ponder, by the way, is the director of the Unity Church Worldwide, headquartered in Palm Desert, California. It is a non-denominational church, meaning that you can be Christian, you can be Catholic, you can be agnostic, you can be Baptist, you can be whatever, and still reap the benefits of Unity Church's teachings. I first did, and I love this copy, especially because it was a beautiful gift. It was actually, you know, it's dated July 21st, 2016. So I'm not sure if it was meant to be a birthday gift or a holiday gift, or just a thank you for everything gift, and I love you and I think you're amazing gift. Or it could be all of the above. But I love this copy very, very much because this was a gift from somebody that I love and adore, somebody that I hold in massively high esteem, and somebody who truly remains one of my all-time favorite people on planet Earth. And I treasure this copy very much. For a little more than 10 years, I've periodically reread this book. And one night I was talking with Drake, also known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, and I asked him, just out of curiosity, how many times do you think I've read this book? Now, for the record, I've lost count. But he said 18. That sounds about right, because I first discovered this book more than 2 decades ago. And just for the record, the copyright of this book, the original copyright, is 1962. The revised copyright is 1984. And the 15th printing of this book is 2010. So this 15th edition is 12 years old. I periodically reread this book. I periodically reread virtually every book written by Catherine Ponder. And when I first began offering prosperity classes, I don't offer them anymore, but when I first began offering them, this was my guidebook for my prosperity classes. And I will tell you, it is an amazing guidebook. So, put you over here, and I'm going to put you over here for now, just to make things easier. Another book that I'm currently reading is called Seasons of Moon and Flame, The Wild Dreamer's Epic Journey of Becoming, written by Danielle Dulsky. Now, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, do a close-up of the cover of the book. And this one has a bit of a story. You see, one of the people that I happily follow on Instagram, as well as Twitter, is named Teresa Reed. Teresa with an H, Reed, with just like reed, like the thing in the swamp, or the thing in the fields, or reed like the part of a woodwind's instrument. But she's more commonly known as the Tarot Lady. And I remember on one of her Instagram posts, she listed an oracle card deck about the holy hags. And I don't remember the title offhand. I'm going to do a quick look in the book to see if it's listed. No, it's not. But I will tell you that I loved the deck. I still love the deck. But when I began reading her Danielle Dulsky's bio on Instagram, and when I visited her website, I was immediately drawn to this book. And one of the reasons, I will admit, is because the foreword was written by Matt Oren, who wrote the book Psychic Witch, and also wrote his follow-up book, Mastering Magic. And you know, for more than a decade, I have referred to myself as Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch. So when I discovered somebody who wrote a book called Psychic Witch, I was like, well, I gotta buy this book. And of course, I began following him on Twitter. There are some people that I do not follow everywhere, but Matt Oren, I probably need to follow everywhere, but except for Facebook, because I haven't used Facebook since Monday, November 21st, 2016, but I digress. This book is so beautiful and so poetic, and I really love the meditations, the prompts, the poems, the stories. I really dig the whole thing, and this is a book that I am slowly savoring. In fact, I'm currently in Chapter 4, Season of Wild Delights, Activating, which focuses on summer, and specifically the summer solstice. And I will tell you, and I'm a little behind because we're now in autumn, but I just love this book. I love, love, love this book. So this is definitely one of my personal favorite books. I love her energy. I love Matt Oren's energy. I really dig this book. And for those of you who are sun sign Aquarians, she is an Aquarian mischief maker. So Aquarians, my lovely visionaries of the Western Zodiac, by all means, check out this book. Now, most of you that have been subscribed to my YouTube channel for a long time know that I am a big lover of cozy mysteries. And I want to tell you about this cozy mystery that I'm currently devouring. There are only 4 chapters left, so by the time we do a books that I'm currently reading, part 2, I will have already finished reading this book. It is the Daisy Gum Majesty Mysteries by Alice Duncan. And here's the thing about the lead character. Her name is Daisy Gum, as in chewing gum, but with two M's, Majesty, as in her royal. And she's from Pasadena, California. The book starts in 1921. It is very soon after the 20th century book began. And here's the thing about Daisy Gum Majesty. She's also known as Desdemona Majesty. And she pretends to be a spiritualist. I love the concept only because there aren't that many cozy mysteries that focus on tarot readers, psychics, mediums, spiritualists, etc. But I will give you a small spoiler. At some point in this series, she has a genuine psychic experience that freaks the fuck out of Daisy. And let me tell you, I cannot wait to get to that point. I cannot wait. Because I will tell you that I am just like, I cannot wait. And I pretty much devour these books when I have them. So I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, do a close-up for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of this book. This is book number 5 in the series. The first book, which I will read to you shortly, or rather read the title to you. Are we good, Drake? Okay. The title of the first book is Strong Spirits, followed by Fine Spirits, High Spirits, Hungry Spirits, Genteel Spirits, Ancient Spirits, and Dark Spirits. And I'm looking forward to those two. I'm currently at the beginning of chapter 19. There are 23 chapters in total, so 4 more to go. So yeah, I love, love, love this book. And I love, love, love this series. And now, since I'm also a gay man, I'm going to talk a little bit about this series of books. It is called A Harem Boys Saga by Young. It is a memoir by Young, and this is book number 3, Debauchery. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, do a close-up of the cover of this book. I cannot help but think of Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings with this particular book. He looks yummy, yummy. I know, right? So here's the thing about this book. This is actually a genuine memoir. And the first book, by the way, is Initiation. And the second book is called... oh, I forgot the title of the second book. Oh man, I cannot believe I forgot this. And I pretty much devoured both of the first two. There are several books that I've been reading, so that's why I haven't devoured this one. I'm still at chapter 1. It's going to bug me, but I'm going to leave it alone, and I will include in the description box below for this video all the titles in the series in the order in which they were published. I love this book, and as somebody who used to have a lot of sexual hang-ups, I'll admit I still have some. I don't have as many as I used to, thank you, Goddess, and thank you, Horned God. But I really love this book. That's why I thought of Levi of Masculine Intuition Readings. The book is classy, meaning it's not explicitly pornographic. There are not any explicitly sexual imagery. There are some photographs because the author is not only a fashion designer, he is also an illustrator, and he is also has a history as being a professional photographer. So there are photographs scattered throughout the book. This is not a photograph of anybody that the author knew personally, to my knowledge, but there are definitely photographs of some of the people that are a part of Jung's life. Bernard Tristan Jung is his full birth name. And I will tell you, I love these books. I love that they're so rich in family relationships, in other cultures, specifically Philippine and Malaysian culture, Middle Eastern culture like Arabic culture, and then of course European culture as well. Different romantic relationships, different sexual relationships. I really, really love how this book goes from education to Europe to Malaysia to Hawaii to the Philippines to the Middle East to Egypt to Jordan. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I love, love, love this book. I love, love, love this entire series. It is a wonderful series. It is definitely for anybody who is interested in anything that has to do with gay male romantic relationships, gay male sexual relationships. There are some bisexual players in the book. Let me clarify that. There are some men in the book that are actively bisexual. So bisexuality is also represented, specifically male bisexuality. It is tasteful, it is classy, as Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings would say. I have never seen an image that is explicitly sexual or pornographic, if you will. There are some very detailed details of some of the couplings, at least in all of the books that I've read thus far. I have not yet gotten to chapter 1 in this book. Metaphysical books, Lenormand books in particular, Catherine Ponder books, and Cozy Mysteries have been dominating my reading time, which is why I am not where I would normally be with this book. But it makes me happy that one of the promises I made to myself just before the beginning of 2022, which, for the record, I haven't done New Year's resolutions in more than a decade. But I do make promises to myself, and one of the promises that I made to myself for 2022 is that I would spend more time reading LGBTQIA+ literature. And I am definitely keeping that promise with this series of books. So those are all the books that I'm currently reading thus far for part 1. I want to happily and wholeheartedly thank all of the authors that I've mentioned, all of the publishing houses that have published their books, and of course I want to thank all of the companies that have sold these books, all of the companies that are offering these books for sale, for purchase. I am definitely forever thankful that there are still people like me who love and prefer and only read physical books. You tell me to read an ebook, I'll get to it maybe. Maybe meaning there is a 95% chance I will not read your electronic book. You give me a physical copy, I'll read it. I may not be able to read it all in one shot, but I will read it. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you, of course, for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, and for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, an extra big and bountiful thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions, including the individual with whom I have a phone reading scheduled for this Sunday, October 2nd, 2022 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, to those of you who have bought me a coffee. I wish all of you a beautiful night, a wonderful week, an amazingly healing and loving weekend, and of course, stay tuned for the next video.